Well, a wise man once said, if you don't have a plan today, you better have one tomorrow. Yeah, that wise man is none other than the president of Safe Harbor Retirement Group. He's the sponsor of this segment. And recently, Cory joined me to talk about the importance of early planning for a successful and stress-free retirement. Cory Sickles, president of Safe Harbor, here today to talk about why you do not want to put off planning for retirement. So good to have you back, Cory.
Glad to be back here, Robin.
You know, you say that you have had people come to you with just months before they intend to retire and say, okay, you know, am I ready? Am I set? You say that's probably not the best plan to take, right?
Yeah, you're exactly right. You know, there's a lot of times, Robin, you know, where someone comes to me 5 years ago, for example, I present a plan to them, and then, you know, they come back 3 or 4 months before they want to retire and they say, I'm ready to implement the plan. And, you know, the bad part about that is they've had 5 years of potential growth on different types of products, that we might have wanted to implement. We can still help them, but it's not, it's not the ideal situation. And the other side of it is I do have some clients that come in, like right now and say they want to retire, and not clients, but prospects that come in right now and say they want to retire in January, where it's the first time I looked at them. I mean, there are definitely things that we can do. But, the earlier that you can start planning, the better you're going to, the better your situation is going to be when the day comes when you do want to retire.
Cory, I want to talk about a couple of things that people used to be able to always count on in retirement, and that is Social Security benefits and benefits through Medicare. And we know those are changing from conversations we've even had in the past. So what do you want people to know about that?
Well, I think, if you go back and you look at my grandparents or even my parents, right, back then, they were able to probably live off of, Social Security. They probably had a pension, and then Medicare kind of solved all their needs. But in today's dynamics with people living longer, you need to be able to save. Social Security is going to be a big, component of your retirement plan. But now it comes down to what else have you really saved?
Cory, do you find people making mistakes that will cost them their retirement or make them not be able to retire when they want to?
Yeah, I think a lot of this has to go back to what we've been talking about. And that's really, going back to not having a plan in place, 5 or 10 years ago. In some cases, you might have been able to invest in different things. Different products that we might have been able to suggest to you. Maybe you've done well in the market, especially over the last 10 years, you've done well. But the question is could you have done better? Are there other products you could have invested into that maybe you had lower fees, that had better returns? And that's one of the things that we really try to do with our clients is get them diversified, but also try to be most efficient, not only from growth, but the longer we have, we might be able to set you up for a better tax situation as well.
Yeah, and to that end, Cory, I know taxes, they can take a huge bite out of your retirement savings, and you can actually plan for much lower, even non-taxable kind of income in retirement, right?
That's exactly right. One of the things that I think you see a lot of people do is they invest in IRAs, 401ks, thrift savings plans. And yes, you get a tax deduction now, but you're going to get all that growth during all your years. And then when you start taking it out, now you're going to have to pay taxes on it. And, a lot of people say to me, well, I'm going to be in a lower tax bracket, when I retire. And I can tell you this, 90% of my clients are in the same tax bracket. So if there's ways that you can put money into life insurance, potentially, where it can grow, and when you take it out, it's tax-free. But a big one is to invest in Roth IRAs as well, whether it's at your 401k or whether you set up your own, because I can tell you this, when you're retired, you're going to want as much tax-free money as you can put your hands on, because taxes are going to go up.
So all of that comes into play when it comes to planning early for the best possible retirement. So it's never too early to call Cory and his team, sit down for an absolutely no-risk consultation. So there is nothing to lose. SafeHarborOH.com, the best way to get started. Cory, thank you so much.
Thank you, Robin.